Oh, yeah, the media thing. I'm going to hit cheering.
Hello? It sounds like the ocean to me. It sounds like it's 1,000 miles away and it's in the ocean.
Whoa! It was loud for me. No, pause, not again. You didn't hear it? You know what? This is not about hearing in this podcast. Well, I admit it is podcast.
I'm so lost. I don't know what's happening anymore.
It's okay. I've got these little buttons here for sound effects, and I'm going to get rid of them because I'll just get aggravated with them. Media. There we go. And media. Oh, that's even better. Okay. Now my screens are... We're not officially... Well, Chris, I could see you.
I can see you too.
Oh, by the way, I guess we are starting this podcast right now.
Can you see my thoughts? I feel like you can see my thoughts.
Right now, it seems to me like your thoughts are, an abstractive glow.
I feel like you can see into my head. That's how close this thing is.
This has to do with probably my eyes, but chances are anybody else that's watching this right now that has better eyesight is able to read your ball cap.
Oh, Magpul.
Yeah.
Wait.
That has lots to do with focus because
with
your new Sony. With your new Sony.
What?
With your new Sony A5100.
Camera? The camera?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted a model name or how far we were going here.
Yeah.
I decided to go with the A5100.
A5100. Yeah, that is going to be one hell of a nice toy for you. I mean, right now I know you're enjoying it. So he's learning so much about it. You've got that Sony A5100, and the lens you got on it right now.
It's 35 millimeter, 1.4 f-stop 1.4.
That's a photographer's. I could see Natalie really wanting to play with that to take some pictures.
Oh yeah, she's already been talking about it.
All right, episode 3. Of course, my name is Scott K. No, I'm not going to tell anybody else what the rest of it is. I'm going to keep it private from now on.
Yeah, you go by Scott K, and I go by C Webb.
There we go. Yeah, Scott K and C Webb. And oh God, then I'll get certain people go, ooh, it's Special K.
What's the S stand for, buddy?
I'm celebrating the certain, what is it again, month? We were just talking about, Pride Month. Oh, Pride Month. No, you're right. You're right. But in order to celebrate my Irish, history. Oh, yeah. Technically history.
And ancestry.
Thank you. I'm going to try, for the very first time, I have looked at this particular Jameson, try to get the lighting just right. I want to say ginger ale all the time.
Ginger and lime.
Oh, he's practicing his mic skills. That's right.
I'm trying to catch up.
Let's do, I could just like a special roll on that. But I've never tried this before. I got it in my local grocery store. They obviously have been keeping it in stock. And I thought, you know what? I bought this about 3 hours ago. We're going to do a taste test for the first time. So let's do a little ASMR.
Ooh.
Ow.
Gosh. Dang.
It's a good thing people can watch this on video now.
Hey, it's how to hurt yourself.
Eventually, I mean, they'll be able to always enjoy them on Patreon, but yeah, give everybody a little taste test of what we're doing here on video. Ooh, gave myself a lot of head.
I mean, there's no limit to that. It just there's no ceiling. More the merrier.
Yeah, it's definitely dark.
That went away fast.
Yeah, it did. I was almost thinking, should I? Because when I have Jameson, I usually have it on the rocks. And for you soon-to-be 21-year-olds, that means whiskey and ice. And what does neat mean?
Neat. It means
no. Go ahead.
It means really cool guy, right?
That, and you just don't put ice in your whiskey.
Oh, see, I just thought it meant neat guy.
No, no, that's what it is. If you want your whiskey neat, that means just straight up whiskey, or whatever your poison is. Smells good. Honestly,
I'm an out of the bottle guy.
I hate to say this because I love Jameson, but my first instinct is it smells like something. I hate to say this. I feel like I'm going to go clean something with it now.
A cleaning product?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
That might be a good thing. Here we go.
I've never tried Drano before. Oh, that face. Uh-oh.
I'm not thrilled, but I'm not disappointed either.
Oh, shit.
I kind of feel like I want to add ice to it right now.
You're the flat line, like single-eyed emoji right now. You're just.
Yeah, and I have a feeling. Let's see. You know how sometimes it tastes either better or worse. You know, as it goes along. Let's see.
Well, yeah. The drunker you get, the better it's going to taste. You need to just chug it.
I'm trying to think what I could add to it right now, but it's not bad. It's really not bad. It's just a little.
You're really talking yourself into it.
The thing of it is, I could see a lot of people saying the same thing. It's not like, oh God, it's. I'll have to bring one over. Have you ever had one of these yet?
No.
Yeah, you have to try. You have to try one for yourself. Maybe if I had a garnish in it or something.
Is it the ginger?
See, that's one thing I thought about. I am not a big ginger ale person.
Yeah, me neither.
And I'm thinking maybe that's what it is. I know I want to say it's around, was it around October? When typically beers have their Oktoberfest beers and all that.
Uh-huh.
I want to say there was another flavor. I mean, I've had worse drinks. There's no doubt about it. But there's just... I'd rather have that Heineken Silver right now. Actually, it's kind of reminding me right now, but like a soda.
It's starting to...
Yeah, you'll have to try
get used to it.
Yeah. And of course, when I was up at Kroger's, I did notice, you're right. Not Rhinestone.
Rheingeist.
Rhinestone. They had some Caddyshack up there.
that good old Rhinestone cowboy beer.
Yeah.
It's real good.
Rhinestone. It's right next to the Jameson ginger and lime.
Yeah, from what you were telling me about it, I definitely, that ginger ale, I'm sure is what's in there. That's got to be like right up front of your...
Yeah, it's funny. Now I'm tasting more of a soda.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'd rather have some Jameson orange. Oh, God, that's special.
Yeah, I got to get us a bottle of that.
I think
really drunk and do eye cuts.
That is so funny because I had finished editing episode 1 and 2, And when you were obviously talking about the eye cuts, it seemed like it was just 10 minutes ago, or I was just listening to you talking about that from editing these videos. Yes, you said something. Yeah, I probably had a few before I did this.
Oh, I had more than a few. Let me tell you.
You had 4.
Got that liquid courage going, man.
Liquid courage. Yeah, that's probably what. No, if I had liquid courage in it, I probably would have given it like highlights or something like that.
Oh shit.
Speaking of highlights, liquid courage, and we're about 10 minutes into this already.
Hey, thanks for the recap, though. I was wondering. I was looking for the time. I was like, where the hell is it?
Yeah, I actually have it down. I can see it. It gives me a timer on here on the bottom.
Okay.
Trying to put a little dead air there for
this
edit.
this is the problem we get into. We bullshit for like it's ongoing, folks.
Yeah, that's okay. It's okay. Chris, I was talking to you obviously in episode 1 and 2 about horror, cars, random shit. And like I said, I feel like I'm better at random shit. I have to bring drinks into it too. But there was that one other subject that we were going to make it a subject from time to time.
Music. Sorry, I thought I'd add a little humor to it.
You're absolutely right. Because it's sometimes...
Which is hard, man. It's hard to work that in, right?
I'll tell you what, I'll bring up just a simple subject about music, and then I don't think it's going to take you hard to figure out how to respond.
Mm-hmm.
When you think back to, and I'm going to say your teenage years, and it doesn't matter exactly when, but your teenage years.
Mm-hmm.
To me, when I was a teen, it seemed like that's when I was really listening to music more, because I was driving around in my car, trying to get rid of that burp out of the way, because that microphone might really record it well.
Let her rip, man.
I keep on forgetting I have a mute button here. I can just easily go.
You got to filter over it. You're fine.
When did music really become something? I don't know. When did music really affect you? I'm trying to figure out this. It's a lot harder to ask than I realize. When you think of music, how does it make you feel? I guess that's the best way to describe it. I'm just trying to figure out the way to break this in, and it is a lot harder to ask than I realized.
I feel like everybody's kind of got the same story, but if I'm being honest, we all had the same trope about that one song or that one album or simply music itself. I feel like people always use that it saved my life. When you were
Very
lowest, it made you feel like there was another human being that felt the same way you did, and they wrote about it and they sold it, and they're living most cases they're living happily ever after. So it was something that kind of makes you identify with the human spirit for me. It's like a part of most music is part of a person's soul that's recorded if you get real music for me. So that for me, I mean, it's the same story. It was there for me when like nobody else was really there. It dragged me out of the dark pits of my life. It's always been there for me. And if I had to capsulize music, I think that's how I'd encapsulize it. It's something that makes you feel not alone.
Well, they always say you should end things on a good note. That's a golfer's analogy, I guess. The way you describe music.
Right? I'm so bad at golf.
I guess what I'm trying to say is the way you described music right there for yourself personally, and a lot of people could sit, like if there was like, let's use half a dozen as a number, they'd be sitting listening to you and they would feel exactly the same way.
I know.
So I guess
it's real hard to not fall into the tropes. I'm not trying to, but that is like how I think about it. It's like one of the closest things to our being, I think. If you are like obsessed with music, I feel like. I'll shut up now.
No. What I was trying to say is the way you're describing it's funny. It's difficult to describe it, but the way you described it is, it's like you really brought music to as it really is a part of a human soul. I can't even really find the right. I guess this would be the best way to end this podcast because who could put words any better than the way you described music right there?
Oh, I didn't mean to go that far. I was just.
It's perfect.
It's so near and dear to me that's like literally, man. That's as best as I could do.
Or I could say you took the words. You know what I mean? It's you said it perfectly, beautifully. Because as you're describing how you feel, I automatically go back to certain songs, certain memories, certain times, certain albums, certain events, certain people, movies. Very good. Okay, as soon as you said that,
why do we love Halloween?
And if it wasn't for music,
love that score. That John Carpenter lives on forever just by music. You know, it's so iconic. You know immediately. That's Michael. That is like buried in people's subconscious. Like that's how powerful music is. You don't need to see even The Mask or anything like that. You can just hear a couple chimes, and you know that's Michael.
You know, it's as you are describing it when you said chimes. I'm thinking of John Carpenter's Halloween. And I'm hearing certain parts of the movie in my head right now.
Oh, the jump scare, the everything. I've got them on my phone. My kids know immediately. There goes Michael. That's all they say. There goes Michael again. He just got a text message.
and Michael, and you know, and I mean, okay, Halloween, John Carpenter's Halloween, and then Halloween 2, 1981. Yeah, it's John Carpenter did. You know what I mean.
Copyrights.
But you could hear when you hear Halloween and Halloween 2, you know automatically which one is which. I'm trying to look at the camera more, and I heard that bong.
Oh, that was me. I
figured.
I'm dinging the thing.
It's okay. I'm dumbifying everything that how you made. Everything you said about music was perfect. Now I feel like, I my favorite color is brown.
Black music.
I like it.
Jeez, I'm sorry, man. That is
my favorite 8-track is stuck in my CD player.
Yeah, I mean that's anybody who knows me knows, man. That's a deep subject for me. So I won't say I had the same answer always stored in the back of my head, but I know how to put it into words, like what I feel. Not necessarily that it's right. I just know how I feel about it.
It is right, Chris, because it's how you feel, and it's absolutely right. You know, I'm not saying it because I agree. How could you be wrong about how you feel when it comes to music? It's impossible.
It's impossible for everybody.
I mean, okay, I was talking to you earlier, obviously, when we weren't recording, about generations. Even though I'm not a fan of what, let's say, a 17-year-old, typical 17-year-olds, or the average 17-year-old, and I could be wrong about that analogy there. But I'm under the assumption that, let's say, the average 17-year-old, right now I feel like I'm so wrong about that, is listening to a certain category that I don't even recognize as music. And then I'd say, well, every generation's felt that way. But the sad thing of it is the generation before me, like my parents, when I was a teenager, 80s music was, well, because I was a teenager in the 80s. Hell, they were loving the 80s music. And I enjoyed their music from the 60s. Well, I was part of the 70s too, but it's just now I can't relate. I mean, there is stuff that is create musicians, songwriters. I could appreciate them, but I want to say the typical, not pop music, but from what I'm hearing when I'm driving my car, I can't relate to what they're listening to. And I'm trying so bad not to sound like some old geezer, but
No, I totally understand.
but still, they have every right to love that music. I hate doing that, but that's how I feel, no matter how I would phrase it.
Agreed. Agreed. I think for me, I just feel sorry for it because, I mean, they do have musicians. Like if staying up as I tend to do with music, like I'm such a I don't know what to even call it. Like I want to find out the newest music out and I want to listen to it, see if there's something that I love in it. Like I have so many albums. It's over 1,000 albums. I don't even know how many exactly. But staying up on the music, it's like they have musicians that are more than capable nowadays. But it's almost like they get shut down. Like if you look like at, say, a Post Malone, I'm not sure if you're familiar with his music.
Yeah. Honestly, I am more familiar with him all thanks to Steve-O's podcast.
Okay.
Because Post Malone was on there. So I got to listen to Post Malone as a person. And I was like, he seems like a pretty cool dude.
He's
I
a great guy.
started like, wait a minute, he has like, I guess, top 40 songs. So
He's a great guy, and he can sit down and he can make like everything from a rock album to a country album. I mean, if you ever heard some of his country like covers, dude can sing and he can do well. He's got early stuff that sounds nice, but I feel like once a studio gets a hold of an artist, because we don't think about that. Like we see the music, and we don't think about all the behind the scenes that went, all the money games that went through.
yeah.
I feel like it dumbs it down a lot. Like if you ever seen Lady Gaga,
Oh yeah.
you know her, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Have you seen her in any of her like earlier stuff before?
Oh
she
yeah.
was-
I mean, let's say the early 2000s, obviously I would say the common, she was obviously known for Poker Face and all that stuff, her more of her glamour, progressive look. I don't know what you would call it. But today she is so
even,
mainstream.
Even before that, Scott.
It's like so musician. I mean, she's so casual. Visually, she's so casual.
Even before
looking.
that, though, she would sit at a piano, and she was more of like a classical music singer, and she can sing
noticed that.
amazingly.
Well, thanks to the remake of Star is Born, you really get to see how incredibly, just from that's a movie, but that's really her singing. But yeah, I've seen her as a musician. Yeah, she's a talented songwriter and musician. In other words, there's that category, and then I see
I know what you're talking about.
Individuals that are performers, and even they call themselves performers.
And I'm with you 100% on those guys. They totally understand.
Yeah. Let's see.
The littles. I got you. I know.
I'm gonna try my best to tell myself just back off on not saying anything that would possibly hurt someone's feelings that's listening to this or watching this, because there might be, I'm gonna say, someone who's 21 years old that absolutely loves, or maybe they're getting into recording music that's in a category that I don't necessarily mesh with. So in other words, I'm thinking out loud and saying, Scott, just be respectful and focus on the music that you like.
Yeah. Chris also. I mean, I usually don't have a filter, but with music, I know how close it is to people. I have a filter as well.
That's why,
I respect
when
it.
I talked when I told you privately why I on my other YouTube channel, the one that's obviously more grounded, why I never really heavily talked about music or Van Halen is because I'm very defensive over that band and its history and my history with it. So it's like, I know how trolls could be, and I know how social media could be. And I've actually have gotten to arguments throughout the years, especially when it comes to this whole, are you a David Lee Roth or Sammy? That infuriates the hell out of me because first of all,
it's baked in the name, right?
I'm Van Halen.
Right.
The music is written by Edward Van Halen. The lyrics were written by David Lee Roth and Sammy Hagar during their eras, and I appreciate the best of both worlds. Ooh, a pun there.
No.
I put it this way. You could put Boxcar Willie as Van Halen's lead singer, and it'd still be my favorite band. But I'm not going to get into Van Halen right now because that's a 5-episode thing, and I'm not going to. No.
Oh, I ain't going nowhere. It's all right.
But no, I think maybe we're gonna end this episode here, and I'd love to talk more about music on the next episode.
Oh shit!
And
really?
maybe focus more on maybe I don't know. In other words, I'm gonna focus more on some albums that, and I'm gonna try my best. Like I want to say top 5 albums that if I was 17 years old, there we go. Top 5 albums I would be listening to. Technically, they were cassettes because I was listening to my car stereo with the cassette player. So, Chris, if you want to join me on this discussion in episode 4, I'm going to do my top 5 when I was 17 years old, and I'm going to challenge you to your top 5 to when you were ...
Ooh.
I guess we'll find out in the next episode.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Sounds like you had a tune in.
Yeah. And
that's a heavy one right there.
Yeah. And I just want to make sure that I let everyone know out there. Yeah, Chris and I are definitely available, these podcasts, on our new YouTube channel. And that, of course, is Meet Us. Is it right? Meet Us in the Man Cave.
Yeah,
is that right, Chris?
2 of us. Yeah. Meet us.
Yeah.
Meet us down here.
Yeah. Meet us. Oh, you know what? I've got this little banner here meet us in the Man. See, we're new to this too.
That's right.
Yeah. And of course, we're on Spotify. I believe you can watch our videos over there now too on Spotify. Apple Podcast, Google, pretty much wherever you could find your favorite, podcasting stations. I guess that's what you call them.
iHeart Radio.
iHeart, yeah.
Yep.
We're on Facebook now. Yep. Facebook, yes, Facebook.
Wish us luck.
Instagram. Yeah, wish us luck. I'm going to have Chris take control over that Facebook over there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, because I'm a chicken. I'm a cow when it comes to Facebook.
I knew there was a catch here.
But yeah, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and even Twitter. That's right. I'll try my best because I figure eventually we'll do some live streams, and I'm going to try to figure out how we hit all of those platforms.
And that, I would love that. I really want to connect with people. I really get into that stuff.
Yeah, because I just know as much as we've discussed off camera and all that, we've got so many ideas for this. It's insane. It's well, I shouldn't say that, but I'll tell you what, I've lost a lot of sleep this week just because I've been thinking much about the possibilities of this podcast. Yeah.
No pressure.
No. So I think we'll leave that here. And my top 5 when I was 17, and then we're going to find out what Chris's top 5 will be at a certain year for him on episode 4.
Oof.
Yeah. They better be subscribing too.
Shit, I need some paper.
Yep. All righty. That being said, I'm going to end this one, and we will see you every Thursday too. Every Thursday, I'm going to do my very best, have a brand new episode every Thursday available on all those platforms.